we have to save some for the crew, or can we just be really mean?
They don't really need any.
Hi, I'm Silvia.
And I'm Marion.
And today we are making homemade noodles.
I'm going to be making this classic Thai noodle dish, pad see ew. But the key is we're going to make our own rice noodles.
Oh, that's incredibly exciting. And I'm going to show you how to make homemade egg pasta that you can use for all kinds of pasta. But today in particular, we are making cannelloni stuffed with ricotta and spinach.
I am very excited about this cannelloni. It's like one of my favorite things. Should we make your dough first?
I think that's a great idea.
Let's
It's
do that.
very easy. It's literally a 2-ingredient job. Eggs and flour and a pinch of salt, I should say, 3 ingredients. So just get cracking. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and just squish it together. And I can tell just by touching it that I won't need any oil or water, and that's it. The magic will actually happen when the dough has rested. So now it's come together and it's really quite soft, but not super soft. You wouldn't want to roll it now because it would probably break. So all you want to do, shape it into a rough ball and leave it to rest for 20-30 minutes. If it's super hot, keep it in the fridge, otherwise on your bench.
Okay, so for my rice noodles, I don't need that many ingredients either. I'm going to start off with some rice flour and also some tapioca starch. But the tapioca starch gives you like the chewiness and the texture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what you need that one for. This is a way to make your own at home without having to do a trip to an Asian supermarket.
Perfect.
So I just want a pinch of salt in there as well. And I just give those flours a little bit of a mix. All right, now I'm going to pour a little bit of water in first. You might be thinking that this is looking very thin.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. So that just needs a little time to rest, about 30 minutes before we start the steaming.
Which is the same time as my dough, which gives me time to get started on the tomato sauce, which will be the main sauce for our cannelloni dish.
Cool.
And this is a classic Italian tomato sauce, which in Italy we call sugo. It's super easy. I've got some good quality chopped tomatoes. All I'm gonna do is heat up some extra virgin olive oil, which is the ingredients Italians can't live without. I use it for basically everything, including when I've got really dry hands or dry hair for a treatment. First I'm going to drop the onion in. You don't want the heat too high because you don't want to burn the onion, but you definitely want it high enough that as soon as it touches the oil it starts sizzling straight away. I'm going to just bash the garlic. Just do this with your hand and your body weight. You get the beautiful garlic flavor without the lingering effect on your breath.
A beautiful subtle garlic.
I know. I always like to salt the onion. You still have to stir it. I just have to add the tomato, which I'm going to do now. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of water. And I've just put the water in the same tin where the tomatoes came from, so that I'm gonna collect every single scrap of tomato.
Waste a thing.
Nothing. I only need the sweetness of the capsicum flavor, and this is a sweet chili. It doesn't have any heat.
Ooh,
I'm
I
just
like
gonna
that as an
pop it
addition
in.
to pop in. So it's not going to make it spicy. It's just
No, not at all.
an additional flavor.
And I am also gonna add some basil, and I'm gonna let this simmer away for about a half an hour. And while that's happening, I can make the filling for the cannelloni.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And we've got some beautiful full cream ricotta. I never tire of saying don't even go near the low fat ricotta, because low fat ricotta means no flavor ricotta, and also it's really watery.
Right.
So it will just make your dish not work.
Well, this
basically.
is beautifully thick and creamy.
Yes, exactly. And good set ricotta needs to be a little bit grainy. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of olive oil in a pan, and then I'm gonna cook the spinach in there really quickly. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cream the ricotta with the fork. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the garlic before for the sauce. I'm gonna do the same thing for the spinach, and just bash it and drop it in. And then I'm just literally gonna pop this in all at once and cover it with a lid, and the steam will wilt it, and that's all we want. Pinch of salt, lid on for a few minutes, give it a shake every so often. Okay, now I'm gonna add a couple of eggs to the ricotta, and while you do that, I can get chopping. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. I am going to add a little bit of nutmeg, which is a spice that I am very fond of. And this is another little extra touch, lemon zest, finely grated. I am going to add a little bit of chopped parsley. This time, I'm not going to use the stalks. Putting the stalks in the filling, it's just a bit too much. I'm going to just drop them in the sauce and just roughly chop it. And I say roughly chop it because I can't finely chop it, basically. So go for your life. If you can finely chop it and that's what you like doing, go for it. And then we're going to add the spinach to that. I'm going to pick out the garlic because we don't want whole cloves. And the last ingredient is Parmesan cheese, finely grated. It's probably the second ingredient I can't live without. So let's just taste it for salt and see if we need to add any more. I reckon it's good.
No, that's perfect. I could just eat all of that. I think you should take it away before I eat it.
Okay, no, well this has to go in the fridge anyway.
Okay, put it there for safekeeping.
I will.
So coming back to my little mixture here, Silvia, and as it's rested, I think it's gotten slightly thicker.
Yeah.
Just gonna add like a drop more water, and I just want to lightly oil that.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise the noodle will stick. Okay, and just want the barest whisper of this mixture over the bottom.
Barest whisper. Don't I love this turn of phrase?
Yeah. Just shake it around a bit to kind of get it all across the bottom. I get the lid on.
Hold on.
And then we just steam it until you'll be able to tell because it's quite white now and opaque. It'll become more translucent. So just a few minutes until that happens.
So maybe while that's happening, I should give a stir.
Yes, please. I'm
to my
starting to smell
tomato sugo.
It smells divine.
It's looking really good. It won't take much longer than this because you want the sauce to be quite runny. Oh, look at that. I can see it.
This is where we find out whether we've been successful with our
Oiling.
mixture and our oiling. And then I'm going to see if I can get it to completely peel away. This is probably a little bit thick. I'll make the next one a little bit thinner, but this is what you can do at home. Do your first one, figure it out. Now I'm brushing this with oil again because these, as I said, they're sticky little guys. Turn that over.
So oil side down onto the
Oil
board.
side down.
Okay.
And then we just slice. And this is where, personal preference, you can make them as thick or as thin as you like. I kind of like something like this.
Yeah, that's
For this
beautiful.
dish. Okay, so they're my noodles done. Let's get on to your pasta.
Okay, I need all the bench
You're gonna
space
take over
I can
everything.
get.
Okay.
Now let's check on our dough because it's rested for about a half an hour. It's super soft
It's
now.
super soft.
I'm gonna cut about a third of it and I'm gonna keep the rest wrapped because we don't want this to dry out. Now you flour it and you flour your bench a little bit as well. And then the first thing you do, you run it through the widest setting. So you flatten it up a little bit with your hands and you give it like one go. And then we can run it through the second widest setting, but we fold it into three like this. And this folding of the dough laminates the dough, which gives it the most beautiful silky texture that
that's the
fresh
texture.
pasta should have. So once again, you fold it and then you run it through the third widest. So every time we're just going a bit thinner. And you see how it's almost see-through.
I can just see my fingers through that pasta dough.
So we're just gonna flour the bench and just let this rest here. Okay, finally we are going to assemble the cannelloni. So what we want to do is cut up a piece of dough about this big, put some filling in the middle, about a tablespoon I'd say, and then you simply roll it up like this. And I'm gonna show you, this is the sauce. I'm just gonna get a ladle full and use that as the base.
Oh, I can
For the
see.
tray.
That's a lot wetter than I would have thought.
Yes, you need it to be quite wet because the liquid will cook the pasta. We're gonna pop the cannelloni in one layer. I'm literally gonna drown the cannelloni in the sauce.
I'm so surprised at how wet that is, but of course to cook the pasta.
Yeah, you really need it.
Yeah.
It will get absorbed. That's it. I meant drown it.
Yeah,
so it is quite
wow.
drowned.
Okay.
Now finishing touches. I'm gonna tear up a bit of mozzarella on top. And you wanna get the Parmesan cheese and just
Sure.
grate it on top. And that's pretty much it. And then you pop it in the oven for about 30-35 minutes, give or take, and have it hot.
Okay, so while your cannelloni is in the oven, we are going to whip up the stir fry part, which is super quick.
And I'm most excited about that because I am starving.
All right, so I'm going to get this going. And like any kind of wok cooking, have all your ingredients done, chopped, prepped, measured out beforehand,
Okay.
because everything in here should happen really quick.
All right.
And when I talk a little bit about wok technique, I think one of the things that's my biggest tip is that you want to get the wok like scary hot.
Okay.
It should be a little bit like, ooh, ooh, a bit scared of the wok.
Okay, that's a great tip actually.
I've just got my chicken here and I'm just going to add a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of sesame oil.
Is that chicken breast or thigh or a
I
mixture?
am a thigh girl.
I'm a thigh girl.
A little bit of white pepper as well. Now, we can see the smoke.
Oh, I can see it's scary hot.
It's scary hot. I'm going to get my oil in there. I want some garlic. Chicken goes in. Now I'm also going to add in some greens. This is Thailand or Chinese broccoli.
Oh, okay.
You could use bok choy, whatever kind of greens that you have. And I'm going to get my noodles in. And this is the part that I love. These white noodles sort of take on this really beautiful stain. So we add those in. I'm using dark soy sauce. Now this is going to give us the beautiful colour that we want. The regular soy sauce.
It is
When
magic.
the noodles transform, taste this with some seasoning. I might just add a little bit more of the salty soy sauce.
Okay.
And some sugar as well. And one final thing, I am just going to add one more dash of pepper.
Oh.
And there we go. There's my pad see ew chicken noodles. So I'm going to put a little bit of this vinegar and the chilies.
I don't think I've ever had pad see ew with the vinegar and the chilies on
So
top.
this is the mistake. You had this, it would be like serving, I don't know, pasta bolognese without parmesan.
Oh, that's
literally-
crime
that's how
again.
critical, that's how
It's
critical it is.
humanity.
It really is critical. And then we want
Wow.
a little bit of the chili powder is optional. That's not a
please.
critical thing.
Mwah. And here we go. Look at this. Oh, it's tiny bit more Parmesan cheese on top because, you know, Italian. A few basil leaves because, again, Italian. And I'm just gonna serve you a cannelloni.
So beautiful. The pasta is really silky, just like you said.
Mingling
Soaked
together
up-
happily.
it's soaked up all that tomato, and then the ricotta is so soft and beautifully fragrant. It's weird that there's not enough for everyone.
What a shame.
What a shame.